Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get the updates. We're excited for today's video. Beer's courtesy of Michael. Thanks so much, Michael. I really appreciate it. It's Tuesday. On Tuesdays, I try to test my palate. And this style has tripped me up a few times when I've gotten them as mystery beers. So definitely seems appropriate. I don't drink a lot of beers like this. So this is called Snappy. It's an American lager, 12% Beer Project's house lager. 5% ABV, and it is, actually it's 2 months old to the day. Yeah, okay. Oh snap. Anything else to read out of Connecticut? Crisp, classic, and 12-ounce can. They put beer in 12-ounce cans. Did you know that? I thought it was only 16 anymore. The glass is wet from me cleaning it, and I just feel like if I grab it only from up here, it's gonna fall. So that man, let me get it out of your way. So this beautiful yellow amberish color. It's a little lighter than when I think of Jurassic Park and the insect stuck in it, but it's close. It's unfiltered looking. This is a really good one to look at to see the difference between what I would consider unfiltered on the way to hazy looking versus just hazy and then keep going all the way like to turbid milky. So this definitely looks more just unfiltered, approaching a haze to it. Like I can see my finger through it, movement at least. The head is white. Like nitro-sized bubbles, small bubbles. What's sticking inside glass is somewhere between small and medium, but within it is very like microscopic, tiny, just beautiful compact head, I guess is the short way of saying it. Let's get into the aroma. Okay, so nice doughy element. That's like the malt is kicking out dough. There is the fermented thing, and I'm stealing this from Matt from Massive Beer Reviews. I'm always, beers like this, I'm like, there's like this lagered funk to it. It was like the closest descriptor I could get. It's fermentation, and I get it, and this is where I'm stealing it from him, kombucha. If you strip kombucha from like anytime I have it, it has fruit, ginger, something else added. But you can taste that fermentation, you can smell that fermentation, and that's so much what that is. There is a crisp, outdoorsy, like straw field, hay field kind of a thing. A slight fruity apple pear note. It smells really good. Let's get into the taste. Cheers. Thanks again, Michael. Okay, and again, being Tuesday, and trying to test my palate, trying to compare it to some of these mystery beers I've had, and I think each time the two I'm thinking of, I thought Belgian, because there is that funk, and I know people who drink this style a lot, like Sean from Nerd Sense looked at me like I grew 5 heads when I said that the first time. So I think people who drink lagers like this don't use that word funk as much as I do, but to me, based on what I typically drink, it does have a little bit of a funky thing, but it is not barnyard horse blanket, like it's not that far gone, but there is, and again, it's that cleanness I think is allowing that fermented taste to come through in this style more than other styles. So that's why my mind I think goes to this like funky saison, funky farmhouse ale when I've done these blind. So that kind of makes sense. I do get a little bit of that apple thing, and then there is just a hint of banana, which again has tripped me up and made me think Belgian yeast in these. So that's interesting that I'm picking it up in this a little bit. Not much, don't get me wrong. And yeah, there is this like earth, like straw kind of a thing. The yeah, that apple is nice. It's not overly done. And when I just smelled it again, the doughiness actually seems much more cracker, like saltine cracker. So let me amend that. It is crisp. There's just enough sweetness and just enough like bitterness that like they balance each other out well without, without them. I mean, since I said they're balancing each other out, they're also not like dominating. Like there's flavor to this. It's not water, and it's also not some huge beer either, but there is a nice flavor to it. This is a crusher. Like there's no question about it. This beer is a crusher. Speaking of Sean from Nerd Sense, I think they also got a can of this. I don't remember if they reviewed it or released a review from it. So I'll have to, actually, whatever. If they did, be on the lookout for it. Nerd Sense, anytime I can plug another YouTube channel, a beer tube channel, let me do it anyway. But yeah, Michael, thank you so much, man. Like I really like this beer. I really appreciate the experience to kind of like know that I'm going into this style and really trying to see what I'm tasting. And even though the camera's not rolling, after this I will continue enjoying the beer, but really dissecting and trying to hone in on this hobby of mine, reviewing craft beer. So thanks again so much, Michael. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Have you had this beer before? Have you had an American lager lately? Do you use the word funk ever for this style? Anything, everything. Comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So always please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.